Today, I'm greeted by the Melbourne Stars captain.
Former captain.
The record for the most runs at the Melbourne Stars. The record for the highest BBL innings, 154 off 64 balls. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, in any of these. 149 sixes in the Big Bash. Over 250 fours for the Stars in the Big Bash as well. 2 World Cup wins. 126 T20 ODIs for Australia. 141 IPL games. And in my opinion, the greatest ODI knock ever against Afghanistan for 201 off 128. I'm greeted with Glenn Maxwell, a.k.a. The Big Show. Thank you for coming on to the WARNES podcast, Maxie.
Lovely to be here, Jacko.
Was any of that incorrect or wrong, or do you have any of those stats that sort of come to mind straight away that you're most proud of?
I think what I'll probably end up being remembered for is that innings against Afghanistan.
Yeah.
To have a moment in your career which can, I suppose, unite a lot of people and have a feeling of people telling you about where they were on that evening and having their own individual stories and own individual feelings about a game of cricket and it relating to something that you did. I think that's really special, and not every player gets to have that moment. So to be able to, I suppose, come back to Australia after that World Cup and have people wanting to tell me their story about how they stayed up late or woke up middle of the night, wanted to sort of check the score and were able to watch it live and how special it felt for them.
Well, I watched that before coming into this, and I'd watched it probably 10 times because I can't actually process that you were pretty much batting on one leg. When did you know that your body was sort of shot? Because when I'm watching it, you're literally off one leg just hitting the most outrageous sixes ever. But it's so entertaining to see. But I think it was when you were just shy of 100 that you got the cramp. Was that your first cramp just before?
I think it was just after. I got a back spasm sort of just after I got to 100, I think. And I just went, that didn't feel good. And physio came out and tried to do a bit of work to loosen up my glutes and hips. And as soon as he put his elbow into my glute, I seized up again, and I was like, nah, just give me the pickle juice, give me some, keep me hydrated, and let's try and go from here. And so I just had to try and carry on and hope that it wasn't going to get worse. And the next few overs, I started cramping both sides of my body, and got to a point where it was I think it was right calf and my left hamstring were consistently just cramping and sort of stopping me from doing much. And we tried to sort of slow down the running between wickets. And the one time I tried to shuffle, fielder sprinted in, tried to run me out. So I sort of tried to shuffle a little bit faster and then went down. And as I was trying to, I suppose, stretch one of the body parts that was cramping, I had a back spasm. So I jolted back onto the ground, and then I couldn't control my breathing. I was panicking, and then I just basically thought, that's it. I'm getting off this ground. I'm done. And physio and Pat sort of were talking with me about what the next possible way to go about was. Was it go off the ground, get a bit of time to get some stretching, get some ice? And he was like, if you come off this ground, we won't be able to get you back on in time. So that made it a simple decision for me. So I was like, well, I might as well stay out here until I get out, and hopefully I get some luck and I can stay at the same end for a few overs and things can work out. And it worked out pretty well in the end.
Well, you end up making history, and you end up doing what you pretty much said was your most memorable or proudest moment. And you've met people since you came back to Australia that were telling you where they were when they were watching it, that they got text messages probably from their friends saying, oh my God, are you watching Maxie's knock? Because I remember it would have been probably around midnight or 1 a.m. when I think it was Tunners in our poker group chat was like, guys, Maxie's having an unbelievable knock. Turn on the TV now. And I think you just got your first century. You just got to 100. And we're watching this, we're going, this is just, it's unbelievable. It's one of those moments that you sort of remember forever.
Yeah. The funny thing is my dad wasn't awake to see it.
No.
He has watched every game of cricket that I reckon I've ever played.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what level it's been. And first time, I think he just went to sleep early, and my mum was at my sister's house looking after my sister's kid, and she was like trying to call my dad, going, "Wake up! He's flying! Like, get up! Get up! You need to watch this." Couldn't get a hold of him.
Yeah.
So anyway, he woke up in the morning, watched the whole replay back,
Yeah.
and caught up. Beauty of, I suppose, TV and streaming services where you're able to at least watch a replay.
Exactly. And what was that phone call like when you were able to talk to him sort of the following day or?
They were both extremely proud and emotional and happy, and I think they're the same whether I get 50 or 200.
They're just proud to see
they're
you
just
playing.
proud.
Yeah.
Like they're just happy to see that I've been able to have a career doing something I absolutely love, and extremely fortunate that I've had that sort of support the whole way through from my brother and my sister as well, from my wife. I've got a great support network that has helped me, I suppose, let me achieve my dreams.
Do you know when that love for cricket started? Like when they first started supporting you and you really thought, okay, I want to try and make it as a professional Australian cricketer?
To be fair, I was obsessed as a kid. As long as I can remember, I was
love the game.
I was always training. I was always hitting something with a bat or a stick or a club or a racket. There was some sort of ball sport always going on in my house. And having a brother that's 9 years older than me was always something good to sort of strive towards. I was always trying to lift myself up to his level. Even as a 5, 6, 7-year-old, I was always like trying to be as good as he was, knowing that it's a long way. He's a lot bigger than me. He's obviously played a lot more, but it was always good to test myself against someone who was always better, consistently better, and that certainly helped my development as a young kid. I was always playing up an age group. I was always challenging myself against older kids, bigger kids, and then you get to senior cricket and it's back to a level playing field again.
Yeah. So you're almost like, not sure what the right analogy is, but like a big fish in a small pond with just you and your brother. And then as soon as you thought you've made it big time and you're sort of feeling really good and you're confident, like, oh shit, I'm playing with the men again. And it's the pond's just gotten even bigger.
Yeah, I think that was a shock a little bit because I think dominating junior sport has probably a lot of international cricketers probably have when they were younger is you go through all the pathways. You're the star player in each team that you play for. You're touted as the next thing that's coming through, and you get to, let's say, state trials, and it might not quite go your way, and you're like, how is this possible? I feel like I've done everything possible in the levels that I've played for, and it hasn't quite worked out to get to this point. And when I got to Premier Cricket, it was the same again. It was another new challenge that most of the challenges I'd faced up until I was probably 17, I'd been able to overcome no worries. And that was probably the first time where I started to go, this is a lot. This isn't as like smooth sailing as I thought it was going to be, or how it has been. And I think those challenges through my late teens and early 20s probably set me up for later in my career. Having failure, having disappointment, being able to deal with adversity, and being dropped a bunch of times, being pushed back down a couple of grades, having to work your way back up, develop resilience. Like it's probably not a born skill. You got to learn it. You got to sort of, I suppose, go through difficult times and situations to be able to come out the other side and learn from those challenges.
And I guess it's probably, in a way, a unique perspective to get those challenges when in your later teens or early 20s. So then when you are a lot older, you have a different perspective or appreciation of the sport or opportunity to play. And you're sort of building that resilience mindset from a younger age, because some people might just go all the way up and then they don't taste failure, or the resilience isn't tested till maybe their late 20s or early 30s and they're not sure how to react.
Yeah, and I see that with like the young players that get picked for Australia when they're 19 and 20 and they have like a decent run of it, but when it doesn't quite go well, how difficult it is for them to come back, because they haven't faced challenges until the moment they're at the top of the game. They're at the top of world sport or top of our sport. how are they going to fight back from that, and how many years is it going to take them? Because they haven't got that learned skill, resilience, and to be able to fight through challenges and learn a way to overcome certain obstacles. And I think to go through a lot of that stuff earlier in my career, not quite nutted down at Victoria straight away, not quite nutted down at Premier Cricket straight away, sort of be in and out of the Australian team a lot early days, but always sort of find a way back in, and still get dropped, find a way back in. And it held me in better stead for the back end of my career to, I suppose, be in a better headspace.
Well, going back to when you were sort of 17, 18, 19 years old, I have to start off with a thank you, because it would have been, I think, the last time we caught up at Dad's anniversary for his birthday poker night, which I hosted. And we're having a normal poker night. We're, having some fun. It was competitive, few stories, few laughs. But I reckon the highlight of my night was once, I think we were watching I was watching the first ever rugby game. I think it was Melbourne Storm versus someone. It was it was like one of the best rugby games ever. But when that finished, I sort of put poker on the TV. No one was really paying attention. So I took it off and I'm like, I'm just going to put on Dad's 50 best wickets on Aussie soil and just going to put it on the background so people can watch if they want. And all of a sudden, after like a few minutes, I'm sort of looking around the room and no one was actually playing poker and everyone was just watching Dad's highlights. But the highlight of the highlights was actually you commentating over every single wicket and ball that Dad was taking, because you knew exactly who it was against, what ball Dad bowled, the year, the ground, all of it. And that to me was one of the coolest. I didn't want a video because it felt inappropriate, but I reckon it was one of the coolest sort of moments I've ever got to see, sort of watching Dad with his closest friends and yourself around, who I know you looked up to Dad quite a lot, but I thought was so fascinating. And on that, you said you had a really interesting story, which you said you wanted to wait to tell me on the podcast. And I've been dying to know what the story is, because you didn't tell me and you wanted to sort of tease it, but it was around the Bush Rangers and I think the first time you met him.
So I'm not sure if I don't think I had an interaction with him as such at the Bush Rangers, but when I was playing for Richmond, I think it was my second ever first grade game. So I played my first grade game in for Richmond against Northcote. And the second game I played, so I was playing twos most of the year, and a lot of the state players got called up to play a one-dayer, and I don't think the Vics could make finals. And your dad was playing for St Kilda, and he was like, I don't need to play this. I'm just going to play the second day of this two-dayer. And so I think a bunch of our Richmond players, so it was like Cameron White, Aidan Blizzard, maybe Ian Hewitt, Adam Crosswaite, all went up and played for Victoria. So we had a couple of guys come from our twos, and I was one of them.
Yeah.
So the week before, your dad scored 100. And then, we were batting that week. And at school assembly, so I was still in I think I was year 11 at school. And our school principal knew I was playing against your dad that weekend.
Yeah.
He's like, on Monday morning in assembly, we'll announce something, like it'll be pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, okay, no worries.
In front of the school?
In front of the whole school.
Yeah.
So Saturday, play, and we're sitting in the change rooms. And sorry, the night before the game, I obviously knew I'm playing. I've watched all of the Shane Warne VCR highlights. I think there was like a compilation of like Warnie's best 50 wickets. And this is in 2007? No, 2006.
Yep. So the last Ashes he played, 2006-07.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 or 6, somewhere, it was around that time.
Yep.
So I'm like watching all these highlights of him in the 90s, watching his different deliveries, him talking through his deliveries. And I've literally done all my homework. Come out to bat. Sure enough, third ball that I'm out there, it's the start of your dad's over to me. And I watched every delivery, and as he was letting it go, I was like, yep, that's slow leg spinner. Yep, got that one. Yep, fast slider. Yep. All right, wide rolling. Yep, got that one. Flipper and Zooter. Got through the first over, like literally picked him out of his hand.
Wow.
Not a problem.
So you can actually, when Dad was bowling, you could see the way everything.
Not an issue.
So
So that's where I had no issues. I could pick him, not a problem.
That's so cool.
One of our team rules. So as a teenager, one of our team rules was for the whole team: no one try and hit Shane Warne through the leg side against the spin. Yep, not a problem. Yep,
That was a rule.
that was a rule because like
Really?
he'll get you out. So literally, that leaves this massive gap on the leg side, and me being a brash, moronic teenager
Yeah.
who's just I've got shots everywhere, but I don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
So I'm defending, getting through. And then he bowls this one ball where I'm like, yep, slow leg spinner. And I'm coming down the wicket and I was like, oh no. And as it's in the air, I can see it just start to drift. So my hands start to come across my body. Oh, now I've got to try and hit this through the leg side. And as I'm going to try and hit it through the leg side, it just drops straight out of the air, hits the wicket, spins straight past me, outside edge. Keeper catches it, looks at me. As I'm standing halfway on the wicket, I didn't even try and get back, and then whips the bails off and goes, international players can't do it. Don't know why you think you can. Runs past me, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair enough. And I got sprayed after the game.
Yeah, so what was it like back in the locker room when that had happened?
Oh,
breaking the rules.
Oh, breaking the rules. And it's only my second game. And I'm 16 or I'm 17 years old. So I was like, jeez.
Did you manage to talk to Dad after that? Because I reckon he would have liked the risk taker in you for doing that, because he was always somebody that took risks.
So we ended up we got bowled out for bugger all, maybe 170 or something like that. They batted for 5 overs or something and set us a total.
After 5 overs?
Oh, no, because they made heaps in the first innings.
Right.
So they just batted an extra 5 overs to take a
course.
bit more time out of the game.
Yep.
And then gave us like a session and a half to try and score whatever amount of runs. And I was facing him again in the second innings, and I was like, all right.
Second chance.
And I was like, this time I'm going to be a bit more decisive. And I actually tried to play some shots this time and hit him for 4 down the ground. And as soon as I hit it, I was like, oh my God, that's the greatest moment in my sporting career. But I still specifically remember he was like, I was sitting there waiting to bat, and it was a drinks break. And yet Dad walked off the ground, literally stood on the side of the boundary, sat there having a dart, had his drink bottle.
Yeah.
And a couple of kids walked over and asked him for a photo, threw the cigarette on the ground, did the photo, smiled, said thank you very much. Off they went, picked the dart up, finished that off, put it out, and went back out and played. And I was like, oh, what an absolute rock star.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But he was, the whole time he was there, it wasn't like he was too big for the game. Like, he respected the fact that there was people playing that standard of cricket, trying hard to get to the next level. Like, there was no piss taking out of it at any stage. He was there to help out, try and help St Kilda win a game of cricket. There was nothing else really to it, which was quite nice to see from someone who literally conquered the world 3 times over. Like, he didn't need to. He didn't need to be there.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean, because he always used to tell me, even when he's joined Hampshire in the 2000s and even Rajasthan in the IPL, when he joined all these teams, he knew a lot of the media or eyeballs or talks or reporting would all be mostly about him. But he was always, when he was in your locker room, in the change rooms, he was always about, how can I help you guys? What do you want me to do? I want us all to win. I don't care if the focus is on me. If the focus is on me, good. That's less distraction for you guys. Let's go out and perform.
And it's one of the things I remember him from the Stars. Like, he always used to ask Eddie, like, what do you need me to do to help in this certain situation? What do you need from me to help ease that tension on you, or whatever it was? It was always his first question, how do you need me to help? Which was like an incredible thing to have from someone. He didn't need the Stars. The Stars needed him. And the fact that he was so giving at that time, like, what was it, a couple of years after his career had finished, and he came back and literally played for us. I think he played a couple of years of IPL, but like for him to come out of retirement and get us off the ground, we owe everything to him and basically the foundations that he set at the Stars for us.
Yeah, and so was that your first time getting to play with him, that 2012-13 at the Stars?
Yeah, so he called me when I was at Hampshire. So I was over there playing county cricket with Dimmer.
Yeah.
So Dimmer and David Hussey sort of we're talking during the state season, the home season, and Dimmy was asking if any players would be keen. He goes, "Oh, you've got to get Maxi over," and so they took a chance on me because I hadn't really played a lot of domestic cricket up until that stage, and was picked up late as a replacement for Delhi Daredevils that year. So I played 2 games over there, and then went to Hampshire to play as a local, and some things sort of got mixed up in the work. So I ended up playing as the second overseas after Afridi didn't show up.
Yeah.
So I was playing club cricket over there. Then so I ended up playing as a second overseas and had time of my life. But during that time, it was post the first year of the BBL where they sort of had the weird first year of just sort of testing the waters where the states were all divided. And there was 2 teams that obviously were after my signature, and I was still quite young, still hadn't done a lot in the T20 game, and had the first year playing for the Renegades.
Yep.
And in my brain, I was just going to re-sign, and basically the conversations probably didn't go as honestly as I would have thought they were going to go. When there was a few players that they said that they'd signed already, and when I called those players, they'd been signed elsewhere.
They haven't signed it. Yeah,
they were signed elsewhere. So I was like, "Wow, that's alarming." Yeah. And when I got the phone call from Shane, he basically mapped out exactly what he wanted from me and what he expected and how the year was going to look and what he could do for me to help me with my game. And the first practice game that we played on the MCG, same thing. He didn't need to be there. Like, it's a practice game. That's not for him. It's for the guys that need a hit or whatever. But he stood by me when I was bowling and talked me through plans, talked me through opposition, talked me through why I was doing stuff. And there was a point where he was talking to me, but all I could do was look at the big screen and see the pair of us up there. So I'm not really sure if I was taking much of it in.
Yeah, you weren't processing. You were just sort of just looking at you and Dad.
I was like, fuck, that's me and the king.
Yeah.
But I think having moments like that, like, are just so special.
Yeah.
And the fact that I was able to share a change room with him, I know, like, yes, he'd done a little bit of coaching with the Australian team, the T20 staff. He'd done a bit of commentary, so we'd sort of see him on the road a bit. I saw him a little bit when he was obviously at Victoria and I was a rookie coming through, but even then, they were only like little snippets and didn't really get to see a lot of it. That first year at the Stars, I got to see a bit more of what he went through and a bit more of what it was like to be him and change my perspective, I suppose. Because rightly or wrongly, we develop perspectives of every person that we see on TV or see in real before we see him in real life, and it's probably the same way people do it to me. Like, you see him in a certain way from the way they play their sport or the way they do things or what's reported. Mm-hmm. And because he was a hero, I struggled to see him for anything past that. Like, it was like, no, he doesn't have a personality. Like, he can't possibly have a personality. Because he's that person from the poster in my room. Like, that's what he is. But to see him as a normal person, to be giving with his time, incredibly loyal, and to be able to be so open to having conversations around the game, it changed really quickly. So instead of he was my hero because of cricket, he was my hero for other reasons as well, which was pretty amazing.
That's awesome, Max. It's so nice that you're able to also hold on to those memories so vividly. And it's one thing I do get a lot of, or I used to get a lot of, is when I'd meet people and they'd meet Dad and they'd go, "Oh, your dad's so different to what I thought he'd be like." And Dad would always used to sort of say, is that like a backhanded compliment? How am I supposed to take that? But you are right. We, as sort of human beings, we develop sort of a persona of what that person's probably like in our head, and then we meet them and we're like, oh, you're actually a human being, and you do have sort of favorite songs or favorite cars or hobbies and all that sort of stuff.
But it's not that you think of them. You don't think of their personality. You just think
what you've heard and seen.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, that's what you like. It's not. You have no clue what they are as a human being to another human being. And the most real thing you can probably do is like, oh, let's go for a coffee, just the two of us alone in a coffee, in a cafe, and then we'll see how normal you are. Like what conversation topics come up, because then you actually sort of really get to the nitty gritty. And I was fortunate to have a few of those moments with your dad, and it just, like when we played golf together a few times, and I was like, he is literally just so, in my mind, normal, but I don't think that's normal. Like, if that makes sense.
That's awesome.
He's so similar to, I suppose, a lot of cricketers, where it's like we're ultra competitive, we're very driven, we love things outside of the game, but he obviously has a few other traits that are far different, which makes him so special.
Yeah. Is there a piece of sort of, I guess, advice or a really impactful moment you had with him at the Stars or outside the Stars that has really made you sort of be like, wow, thank you for that, Shane, or thank you for that, Dad?
He checked in a couple of times. And I've spoken about this before, where he used to hear the tone in my voice and double down, and then follow up message later on. So I think I caught up with him as like post when we played together. Whenever he was commentating one of my games, I'd always go say hello.
That's so
and
cool.
we'd always have a chat, and it might be about absolutely nothing. It might be about poker, golf.
Yeah. Family.
Rarely cricket, probably family, like literally anything but like potentially what was going on that day. But then there was probably one day where I went up and just, hey mate, how you going? And I just went, yeah, all right, and didn't really give him much. And he went, you're right, and like kept pushing until he got the answer that he knew, and he knew I wasn't all right. Like he just kept on pushing, and then messaged me later after the game, because you could sort of see, as I walked away, you could sort of see him looking straight through me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've just lied to him. Like I've blatantly just said, oh yeah, I'm all right, and I've lied to him. And so then he doubled down with a text message later on and didn't stop until he got the answer and then checked in.
Yeah, but I don't think you sort of, I guess maybe you did lie to him, is if that's what you think, but I think as sort of men or as adults, we probably think, oh yeah, like we're fine, we'll just deal with it ourselves. But no, I always would like to think Dad always cared for everybody around him, especially people like yourself who have sort of gone or in his similar shoes, sort of representing Australia, playing cricket, playing sport, because he knows what that world is like. He did it for such a long time. And so I know he spent a lot of time with players and people that he could just help in any way he can. So I'm glad you can get to hold on to those memories, Maxie.
Yeah, he was, I think to have the skill that he does to read people, it didn't just relate to cricket. There was like, I suppose, that skill outside of just being a human being. And then it's not just the follow-up message that day. It's a week later, just checking in, mate. Just wanted to make sure you're okay. And then we're playing poker in a couple of days' time. Let's come around, whatever it might be. He'll sit next to me, almost like, without putting it out there publicly, just make you feel like you're at home. Yeah. And I still remember it might have even been here that we had a poker night, and I knew I wasn't feeling great, but I felt like I was accepted. Yeah. Probably for the first time in a while, where I felt like I'd had so much pressure from outside and probably looking in, and most of it probably internal in my head, but it felt like everything was sort of caving in. And for the first time in ages, it sort of felt like it was easing off a little bit, because I had guys that were just happy to be around and just good people. And I think that's actually why Dad sort of loved having these poker nights, because he was able to bring so many people from so many different walks of life all together. But when everybody's together, he made everybody feel safe. He made sure everyone was okay. He wanted to know if you're all good. And I've had so many people say, even though Dad was younger than them or sometimes older, that they actually felt like a father figure, like Dad was their sort of father figure or role model because of the advice or because of the feeling that they made you in terms of just being safe or knew everything was going to be okay.
And that's probably one of the things that personally I do miss the most, just because whenever I was around him, doesn't matter if we were in England or we were here or we we're in the car, like it doesn't matter where we were or what we were doing. It's like this, I just knew no matter what situation we'd get ourselves in, everything would be okay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he was able to make you sort of feel the same though, Maxie.
And it's the other side of it, like with the group that he assembles to have around him, and with, I suppose, where he's left the group now and the people that he's been able to, I suppose, get together. I've now got 6 or 7 guys that can check up on like how I'm going, that regularly do, and it's created friends for life out of amazing people who are the same as your dad, caring, loyal, and willing to give their time to help others, which is an amazing thing and incredibly rare in blokes to be that open and caring, which is probably stupid to say, but like to be able to be that giving and thoughtful all the time. And I found that like the friends I've made out of this group, like I genuinely look forward to the next time. Like I leave a poker night and I'm like, I can't wait to see them again.
Oh, that's awesome,
like,
Maxie.
That's how I feel every time. More so because I've probably left bit of money on the table. Like, I can't wait to win that money again.
You just need to come back and win it again. But that's like, I think it's also unique because you and Dad shared, you know, those two things in common. You both loved your golf and you loved your poker, because they're both
and
things.
The Saints.
And well, that's another thing. And the Saints. Were you able to go to a Saints game with him?
No,
you'd watched a few at home though with us.
No. We'd both be at the game. Shane would be off in his box, and I'd be probably down a level. But I'd always be messaging him during the game, and we'd be sort of getting updates from each other.
You'd be screaming out a few people's names.
Yeah. He had his favourites.
He does have his favourites. That's one thing I actually said to Andrew Bassett. I said, one thing I miss, there's a lot of things, but one thing I do miss is after or during the Saints games is, this player's this, or we're not doing this, or we're too defensive, all these different things, because he was the most passionate Saints fan ever. Yeah. The most passionate Saints fan.
Yeah, and I think I wore the brunt of most of that because he knew how passionate I was about it. So he knew he could go hard at me and I would
you could go hard at him.
I could go back.
Yeah.
And then we'd have a heated argument, not be able to solve anything, knowing that we have no power over the team. It's just like, then we go to Bassett and like spray him with all our ideas. But it was nice to have that, I suppose, outside of the cricket as well. I think that probably normalised everything for me as well.
Yeah. Do you think that would be sort of one thing that not like takes the edge off, but one thing that just sort of gets you out of the cricket world is sort of AFL? Because during the home and away season, being able to go and watch the Saints, is that like a relaxer you'd call it?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it relaxing.
Well, actually, probably true. You can't call it.
It's probably the most stressful thing of all time.
100%, you're right. Relaxing is the wrong word, but something to sort of get you out. Enjoyable, okay.
It is
passes the time.
Yeah, I look forward to go and watch the Saints. Like I dearly love them. I've ridden every high and low.
Yeah.
Like, and I get emotional with the game. I ride every moment of it.
Well, one of the funnest experiences with you lately was when we were actually at the St Kilda Carlton box. We were cheering, especially yourself.
That was a nightmare.
You would cheer. Yeah, I know, but it was contagious how passionate you were about that Saints and how close we were getting.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Carlton supporters have just given it back. That's the thing. Like, when I came into that box, I completely forgot about how badly outnumbered I was going to be.
Yeah, I think there was maybe only 4 or 5 of us versus 15. I think, Saints
and I
fans.
brought 2 of them. I brought my brother.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was so disappointing because I think we played quite well for like the first half or 3 quarters and then just got overrun.
Yeah.
And it was just heartbreaking. I think we had to close the glass
yeah,
by
we
the
did,
end of it.
didn't we? Yeah. But it is sort of exciting going to 2026 with all of the new signings and the sort of the feel. It's like it's exciting because I do say every year, but this is the year. You know, we got Maxi King back, Naz has re-signed, we got TDK, Silvani, and then after those guys signed, there's I think 6 or 7 others. I know Ryan signed, but I know every year our Saints fans are like, oh, this year. But this is actually the first year where we can hopefully make finals.
We're making moves.
Yeah.
It's about time, Bassett. Like, seriously.
Yeah, come
like,
on, AB. Come on, AB.
Like, we've been all over him for a couple of years now. And to be fair, it's given all of the Saints supporters like a new lease on life. It's like, oh, look at us go. We're aggressive at the trade table. We're like putting our foot down. We're ruffling some feathers.
Yeah,
like,
and I kind of like the nickname, the Saints Mafia. Like, give us a nickname, give us something, give us a bit of personality.
Yeah, we want something.
Yeah.
Like, we want to feel like we're involved in the AFL still, not just like, oh, you're going to finish in between 11th and 15th every year.
I know. We always
miss out on draft picks and not make finals. That's great.
I know. We always win like the first 7 to 6, or actually I reckon the first 7 to 8 games, and then we fade, and then we always finish strong, leaving us into sort of that 12 to 15 spot.
Yeah, that's great.
But yeah,
it helps no one.
But
right. if you've seen our fixture for next year, we've got an unbelievable run.
Have you already seen this fixture?
Well, I think I just saw a photo of it. Have
we got a good run home?
Our last like 11 games, I think we got like one away game outside of Victoria or something like that.
Perfect.
Like, keep the boys comfortable.
Yeah,
keep them at home.
We'll take all of that as possible.
Keep them at home. Keep them nice and relaxed. They can sleep in their own bed. Got to go to GMHBA. Not a problem.
That's fine.
We'll book
Just
you
don't
down.
Put us on a plane.
We'll book you down at 13th Beach somewhere. You can play some golf. You'll be fine.
Perfect.
Get you on Jesse Cameron's bloody farm. That's got plenty of space, doesn't it?
Perfect. I'm sure there'll be enough spaces down there. But going back to sort of relationship with Dad, there was one thing I remembered. You were at the London Spirit during 2021, weren't you? So that was just as he was the first year coaching as the 100 started. But then I think he got COVID and was only able to coach 3 or 4 games.
So I was signed the first year. Yep. And then because of the COVID, we weren't allowed to go that first year, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So you were never able to play under sort of his coaching?
No, so I played the following year.
I remember because we caught up that year.
Yeah, the first year without him. And we started off hot. It was like one of the first 4 games, and I had to leave after that. But I remember feeling guilty leaving, going, this could be the first year that, like, since he's gone, imagine London Spirit winning it for him. That would just be like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And I felt guilty leaving, knowing that I was sort of forced to leave playing for Australia. You've got other obligations. Of course,
there's a priority list, and representing your country is right at the top.
But when you start a project, you want to sort of see it through, which is, I feel like the way you sort of see a lot of franchise cricket these days. Like, when you sign these contracts at the start, it's like, oh yeah, that's an obligation that I'll take care of in August.
Yeah.
And you think, oh yeah, I'll cut it off halfway. It's not a problem. But you forget about the emotional investment when you're there.
When you get the relationships.
Yeah, you get invested in the players that are there. You make new friendships. You get aligned to the cause of the team, and you start to feel genuinely involved. And I absolutely loved being there, and that was a hard flight to get on.
Yeah,
post that, but even the emotion around the London Spirit at the start of that tournament, it was real. Like, it was, it was pretty gut wrenching at the start.
Yeah, I know Dad was really excited to be the coach of that team because he loved England, he loved Lords. His house was literally, he bought a house right next to Lords, so he didn't have to get Ubers or drive there, so we could literally walk there 3 minutes. And one of the funnest sort of, because we used to walk to the cricket quite a lot. If it was in Melbourne, we'd just drive straight underground. But especially for some of the games at Lords, some of the funnest moments I've ever got with Dad walking in public is we'd walk from his house to Lords. It's probably a 2 to 5 minute walk, but it would sometimes genuinely take us at least 30 or 40 minutes because people would see Dad in his suit, and I'll just be watching this sort of from the back going, this is so cool. And it'd just be a bunch of English guys going, Warnie, can we get a photo? Can we get an autograph? And just seeing how happy those guys were. Of half the time I was taking the photos, which I didn't care at all. I thought I'm doing it with the biggest smile on my face. But just to see, Mark Howard describes it perfectly, this glow effect. To see this glow effect that he's leaving English fans was so, so special because Dad never said no. He always wanted to make people smile. And it's like, it's the English. You'd think they'd hate the Aussies, but they used to love Dad and Dad loved them.
He made cricket fans happy. Didn't matter where they were. They must have hated coming up against him. It was so well documented how scared they were of playing against him. What was it? It was like the 95 can't remember the bloody Ashes 95, 93, maybe 97.
93, yeah, 93, 94 was the Gadding one.
Yeah.
Was it in Melbourne?
No, but they talked about like the highlights. So I remember seeing this video of like, oh yeah, we watched videos of you watching like getting knocked out, like knocking us over for about an hour, and I just remember that being like one of the clips, and like and Shane going, oh, why don't you like watch you guys hitting boundaries and stuff? And he's like, no, we were just so scared, like you had us out before we even like,
no way.
like
yeah.
So like that's the sort of effect he had.
Yeah.
Especially during the 90s where it was just literally panic. It was like one of these balls is going to get me out, and they just didn't know what to do with it. And there wasn't the era of T20 cricket where they could sort of come up with different ways to score and put pressure back on it. It was like, oh, well, I'll go even more defensive, or like I'll charge down the wicket and be defensive, or I'll just stay back and be defensive. So there wasn't really a way to put the pressure back on. And
Dad was the type of player that did not mind if he had to bowl 30, 35, nearly 40 overs in an innings. He would literally just say, give me the ball. I will get this person out. And even it might, he might let you get 40 or 50 runs, but he just knew eventually he will get you out because he just never had that mindset of giving up. He just wanted that ball and he wanted to get you out.
Yeah. It's probably to his detriment when he had a lot of shoulder issues.
3 shoulder ups.
Was it late 90s?
Yep.
I reckon 98, 99 or 99, 2000?
Yeah, he had 3 shoulder reconstructions. Yeah. I remember always when he used to take his top off, I could see the 3 scars all in his back and in his shoulder. It literally looked like a shark bite, some of the scars. But the relationship Dad had with the UK, do you have that with a sort of country like India when you're there for the IPL?
There's so much affection in India. It's probably just at a different level. I think the chaos of India and the fact that I played for RCB, I think the most followed team in the IPL. I think having a huge Indian following anyway, plus having played for them, having a couple of successful years personally playing with them, probably made it go up tenfold. And it's nice to be adored in places and cheered for. It can be overwhelming, especially like my wife doesn't like the limelight whatsoever. I'm very protective of my son. I'm a very private person, away from the game, and I try and sort of keep that side of it private. I don't really put a lot of my personal life on social media.
Lots of cricket and golf are the 2 biggest things on your socials. Cricket and golf.
Cricket and golf.
Maxie's big catch. Yeah. And lots of Callaway golf. Is that right?
Yeah. Callaway, yeah. So I think to let people in personally, I just feel like I don't need that. I feel like that's my life that I want to keep private, and that's probably been the hardest thing when I go over to India, because it's not like you can't do what Shane does in England. You can't go, I'll stay and do every photo. Yeah. Because you'll literally be there for 4 years.
No, you're right. Yeah.
They all call their cousins, their mates, and all of a sudden it's swamped, and then you just get trampled.
Yeah. Has that happened to you in India?
Yeah, I've been some scary spots where even just getting out of a car and not having
the right security or the bus there
enough or right security, and it's chaos.
Yeah,
and it is quite scary because they close in, and they don't sort of give you the space to just move and walk.
And they just love cricket. Like in a way, they just absolutely love cricket. And I couldn't even imagine what it'd be like, because you played with Virat as well. If they found out you and Virat were together on the same team, next to each other, walking to a bus, that could be whoosh. That could just be absolute chaos.
I was telling a story the other day that we shared a car back from training one day. So outside of Chinnaswamy, the crowd always sort of hangs out around the gates. And as soon as Bangalore's training, they're all waiting outside the gates just to catch a glimpse of the players.
Yeah.
So me and Virat finish early. We're in a car, and I should have thought about this and gone, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like I'm one of the highest paid overseas players, and that's Virat Kohli, literally the king of this place.
Yeah.
So we're driving out, gates open, the security are trying to push all the people back just so we got a little gap to like drive through onto this stupidly busy main road.
Yeah.
As we get out, traffic's at a standstill. People are like looking into the car, notice who's in the car next to me, and just start belting on the windows and on the car, like trying to get his attention. The car's getting rocked. It was like I was so scared, and he's just sitting there, just like playing on his phone, just going, yeah. And I was like, how do you deal with it? He's like, it's just normal. And I'm like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be normal.
Yeah.
So anyway, we finally, security's in the front seat of the car doing absolutely nothing. And so they're trying to sort of weave a way through, but it's just what they go through over there, the cricketers. And I don't know how they do it.
Does that sort of, when you see how Virat and some of the Indian cricketers, and even yourself, when you're in India with all that chaos, does that sort of make you, when you come back to Melbourne or Australia or even sometimes in England, sort of appreciate how safe you feel, how much space you have, being able to walk with your family, or not really?
Oh, when I get home, and first thing I do is go down to cafeteria.
Yeah, the local where Kaya used to work.
See Kaya, and
yeah,
and she can see, I reckon, see the relief on my face. She's going, oh, it's just nice to just be able to sit down.
Yeah,
there's no one bothering me. I'm just in my own little world. I can sit and read the paper and like literally zone out from the world. And I might have like one person every 15 stops at the coffee shop come up to me and say hello, but it's nothing compared to what I go through in other countries. And it's just it's so different in Australia, the way we treat our sports idols, heroes. Like, we see them, we have probably a reasonable amount of adulation for them. Yeah, but we're very, I suppose, reserved in the way we'll approach them.
We don't really put them on a pedestal and act like they're sort of gods, or they're sort of these alien-like people that aren't like us. You realise, oh, you're actually a person just like me.
Oh, I didn't know you drank coffee.
What do you think I do every morning? I thought you'd be a bit taller or something like that.
It's like, oh, geez, you're a lot hairier than you look. Is that what they always talk about? Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's always like they'll open up with a line like that. It won't be like, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan. It will just be like, thought you'd be bigger. Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Has there been a interaction that was like that, where there was sort of like somebody said that to you, oh, you're not as big as I thought, or has that happened to you before when someone's...
People generally think that I'm a lot taller in person. They go, geez, you're a lot taller than I thought you were. And I think it's because...
Is that because the Aussie squad's maybe quite small?
No, it's because I've got like Cameron Green, Tim David, Mitch Marsh. Like, they're all big, so I obviously look very small next to them. Yeah. So I'm always like batting with these sorts of guys. So when I'm out there batting, it's like, geez, he's tiny. Yeah. And then when they see me, I'm like, oh, you're a lot taller and bigger than I thought you were. So maybe it's just TV.
Yeah, no, well, TV I think always does make everybody look bigger. I remember that's something
that's what Finchie always used to say.
Well, that's exactly what Dad used to say too. He's like, oh, I don't look that big, do I? Well, nah, it's just the TVs. Oh, I'm not that fat.
It was always the joke. It's like, oh, a TV screen adds 10 pounds, and you always just look at Finchie. It's like, how many TV screens are on you?
Yes, that's so true. That's exactly what Dad used to say too. Yeah. Going to the summer though, before we wrap up, firstly, thank you so much, Maxie. Melbourne Stars. Yay or nay? You're playing?
Yay. This is a weird time of the year, it's a weird time of the year because they've got no white ball scheduled for Australia. Obviously, post this T20 series that we just played against India. Yeah. All the way until it's like February, I think, which is just before the T20 World Cup. So I've got like a weird little break here where, if I wanted to, I could play a couple of other little leagues around the world, but I'm in a nice position where I can start to, I suppose, put some things in place for post-cricket. Yeah. So I'm doing some coaching with the Stars WBBL team at the moment. Yep. Which is basically just an extra set of hands at training, helping out with the fielding, helping out with any sort of cricket
and that's
advice.
Like the Maxie's catch as well, I saw. Is that something you've always done? Because I've seen the trainings of you, like in the warm-ups. I think I saw one... The other day, you were showing some of the Bushrangers girls how to do the catching.
That was the Stars WBBL.
Was it the Stars WBBL? Yeah. Because you literally, I don't know if since I've been alive, I've never seen anybody at training or at practice throw the ball out of bounds, catch it, throw it back in, jump, and then catch it again. But you've done it multiple times in games now.
Yeah, so
It's amazing.
I'm trying to teach, I suppose, the next generation to be able to treat the boundary line as a minor obstacle, not the be-all and end-all. So if, as a fielder, we can stretch that boundary by 2 meters by jumping and catching over the line and getting rid of it, your worth as a fielder, your worth in the team can go up tenfold. So and can create opportunities. And it's a small part of the game that is getting better and better each day. And we're starting to see some pretty cool things happen around boundary lines. And it looks silly when you don't quite pull it off, but when you do pull it off, it can make a huge impact on the game. And starting to challenge the girls in different areas of the fielding side.
And you've even done it so well that you've sort of, because the BBL is very entertaining with the music and the fireworks and stuff like that, especially the Melbourne Stars games, but you've almost added your own unique sort of legacy to the Stars with Maxie's catches.
Yeah, Catch Max, which is
on...
that
what it's Catch Max?
Catch Max,
Catch Max, okay.
So that's on... we're trying to do it sort of Derby Day or the last home game.
Yeah.
So it's sort of been a bit of a different angle that we've tried to attack each year, and I'm not sure what it's going to look like this year. I haven't sort of gone through what we're going to try and do. I think we'll get something out towards the start of the Big Bash and build up towards that final game where we have a few catches, hopefully taking a catch for $1 million in that last game. But it's I tell you what, we had a heap of money on the line for, I think it was 5 catches in the final home game at the MCG.
Wow.
In front of, I think it was like 20,000 people there.
Yeah. And
the catches all took their previous catch to end up in that position. So it wasn't like they hadn't done it before.
So it's like the finals for the catch.
It was the final. So they'd already done it before. So it was like, all right, this is possible. It's not like we're setting an impossible task where we're dropping it from the
It's like you've already done it.
You've already done this. The pressure of a few extra people there. There actually being a cash amount on the line. Watching them get wobbly knees was hard to watch. I felt so bad for them.
Well, I had a very bad experience with that I think it was the first time in 2023 when we did our first sort of activation with the Legacy at Boxing Day. They said, Jackson, do you want to do, I think it was the Bundaberg T-break catch. I'm like, yep, it's fine. I've got good hands, easy. And for whatever reason, I was asking everybody in the commentary box, I'm about to go do the Bundaberg catch. They're going to shoot the ball straight up. Should I sort of do this or should I look up and do that? And I got a bit of a mixed response. Some said this and some said that. And I've gone, why have I asked them when I should just do what my instincts would do like straight away when I go? Anyway, when I went up there, as I've gone up there, I was practicing this one. So I've done this and the ball's literally just gone straight through, falconed me straight in the head. It started big straight away. The guy doing the voiceover was going, oh, I've gone home, big red circle, had to go to the Boxing Day again the next day, and I've just got this big falcon. I think Howie and the Fox Cricket Boys replayed it like 3 or 4 times saying, did you boys see the Bundaberg halftime catch? Jacko Warner's just falcon, but... No, it's not an easy thing. People definitely underestimate how hard it is to catch.
Yeah, exactly
to be
right.
a good catcher.
And to do it under pressure when there's some money on the line is even harder. So hopefully this year we get some success from our catches and hopefully it keeps going.
Well, good luck to the catchers. Maxie, thank you so much for coming on, mate. Is there anything you'd like to sign off with or tell your fans or your audience or anything that's coming up or you want to end on?
Let's think.
Is your arm better? Is your arm...
Well...
Are you able to play golf?
That's what we're working with.
Oh, my God.
We're working with a couple of different shades of hair.
Shit.
Which is quite funny. I've actually got the St Kilda colours. That's red, white and black.
Yeah. Is that pain? Is there pain? Or is it...
sometimes.
Look at that right out there. Shit, it is. Do you want some Veet? I use Veet if you want some Veet.
No. To be fair, when I woke up from the surgery and I saw my arm shaved, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And then it grew back pretty quick. But then I had to tape it for the games that I played recently, so I had to reshave it.
Yeah.
It looks weird because I've also got like my ankle shaved as well, and
Yeah.
I have got even like more hairy legs. So
Yeah.
it looks a lot like I'm wearing like one long white sock every day, which
Well,
is quite odd.
Well, do you think we'll ever get to see you play again, like bat, even for bush rangers or just at some sort of level?
You'll definitely see me. I might be playing for Fitz or Doncaster before the end of the month.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be playing club cricket.
Yeah.
But yeah, my preparation for the Big Bash is going to be pretty chilled in the Junction Oval gym, I reckon. Just trying to get my body right and try and build up towards the T20 World Cup next year, which is really exciting.
Nice. So, well, good luck, Maxie. And actually, at the Junction Oval, there's the Shane Warne stand now, isn't there?
It certainly is.
I've said it in a few of the podcasts. It's actually a bit selfish of him now, isn't it? Because he's got the Shane Warne stand at the MCG. He's got the statue at the MCG. Shane Warne stand at the Junction Oval. He's got the Shane Warne Oval at East Sandy as a junior. The Shane Warne Oval at Mentone Grammar, where he used to go to school. He's got the Shane Warne stand at Hampshire. He's got the Shane Warne Gallery at Rajasthan Royals. He has the Shane Warne commentary box at Lords for Sky Sports. I'm probably missing a few, but that's nearly 8 or 9. Oh, I can't say that yet, but he might even have.
Why not let us say that? We're gonna have to edit that out.
That's okay. Lucky Kai, the producer, can work some magic. But Maxie, mate, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it, and I hope you have a speedy recovery. And I wish you all the best.
Cheers, Jacko. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Maxie.